Our noble cause is to catch people falling through the cracks, which means we often support people who have not been able to connect to other supports or services. What do you think are some of the reasons that people don't get the support that they need and want and deserve?
Because of their mental health diagnosis?
Frequently because of their mental health diagnosis, for sure. What else?
They don't. Go ahead, Billy.
No, I just said because they're homeless.
Because they're homeless, absolutely. They smell, maybe, and so nobody wants to talk to them because they're smelly, for example. What else?
They don't fit neatly into the recovery outlets which are available, or the more popular ones.
Square peg in a round hole, for example.
The awkward puzzle piece.
They're an awkward puzzle piece, absolutely. Other thoughts? Like, to me, the irony is that someone would be turned away from getting mental health services because they have a mental health diagnosis. Like, this is very ironic, I think. And yet, I definitely think it happens. Like, when I see people come in to share, a lot of people come in to share that are seeking housing, and we house some of them in share collaborative housing. And other people seek other kinds of housing. And I watch and I see who gets housed. And invariably, the people who get housed are the people who are polite. They tend to be better educated. They know how to return someone's phone call and remember the name of their dog and say, oh, it's your birthday today. How are you? They know how to show up to an appointment on time and bring their documents with them. Those people get housed. The people that don't get housed are the ones who can't remember what today is. They tend to cuss you out when they see you. They distrust you because of your race. You know, they don't get housed. And it's not because they don't need housing. It's because our system is not set up to really accommodate people's disabilities. And to me, like, I don't know, like, courtesy and politeness goes a long way, yet a lot of people just aren't there. Okay, so this ties into perceptions of our community. When someone is unhoused, has been incarcerated, has been in a psychiatric hospital, how are they likely to be viewed in our society? What kinds of perceptions do people have of them? Uneducated, unhealthy, untrustworthy, mean, unable to care for themselves, criminal, 2 checks on criminal, less than, lazy. Yeah, for sure. These are the stereotypes that are out there. Unemployed. Yeah, because if they were employed, they wouldn't be homeless, right? The fact is, there are a lot of homeless people who have jobs. Unskilled. Many people who are in those categories are extremely skilled. Okay. All right. Unvalued. So everyone is choosing lazy, unvalued, unskilled, uneducated, untrustworthy, less than, mean, unable to take care of themselves. Oh, I should say of rather than for. Criminal, unemployed, unhealthy. So these are some of the words that come to mind for you when you think of people in these categories, which is a lot of the folks that we're connecting with, a lot of the folks that are the hardest to connect with. Now, how would people in those categories perhaps see themselves? What kind of self-perception might they have, knowing that they're getting these messages from the outside world? Less than, friendless, unvalued, unhealthy, unvalued. I would say that some of them see themselves as unlovable. Unlovable for sure. People get that message all the time. You're not lovable. No one could love you. It's a shock when people come to share and they experience even a little bit of acceptance and even a little bit of being treated with some dignity. Inhuman, they start feeling like they're not human. Is that what someone, could someone explain what they meant by this? I'm not sure who wrote it.
I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second, Libby. What, I thought we were still doing, how they might be viewed.
No, we're looking at how might they view themselves.
Oh, okay. Well, that I actually, okay, when I was homeless on the street, and I got to a point where I was panhandling on Ventura Boulevard in Studio City. And people would walk by me as if I did not exist. And I started to feel like I was no longer a member of the human race.
Okay,
That's what I mean by inhuman.
no longer a member of the human race. So Billy is someone who fell through the cracks. What was it like to fall through the cracks, Billy?
I'm sorry, what, Libby?
What was it like for you to fall through the cracks?
Um, the things that bothered me the most was that, like, being treated like a ghost. Like, when I would go up to someone with my hand out, they would walk by as if I didn't exist. The other thing was no one wanted to touch me. I went so long without any kind of human contact that I started to feel like a ghost that was haunting the ruins of my life. I didn't feel real anymore. I felt like a spirit. I felt like I was haunting this world, you know? So
So
it took a lot for me to come back from that.
what did it take?
Honestly, it was my first NA meeting. People actually hugged me, and it made me cry because no one had put their arms around me in so long that it wasn't only that they were acknowledging me, it's that they weren't afraid to make physical contact with me. And I was at an NA meeting and they had me. I've been in NA ever since.
So for you, Jennifer, Tony, and Rich, what is it like for you to hear Billy's story?
Touching, heartwarming.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time speaking. Yeah.
Makes me happy that he went to his first meeting and it shows that it works.
I think that you are like a living miracle, Billy. It's amazing that you made it, and so many people who we've lost, and we didn't lose you. I don't know why you were saved, but I'm just so grateful that you're still here on this world.
Thank you, Libby.
Yeah, you kind of reinforced how important it is with anybody that shows up new at a meeting, how we treat, how we accept them, how we feel for them, how we empathize is critically important to them and to us.
Well, Rich, because of my personal experience, I take it very seriously when, in the readings at Narcotics Anonymous meetings, they say the newcomer is the most important person at any meeting. And yet, like I've criticized some people that I know who have a lot of clean time, who will show up in a meeting and then they'll go around the circle and they only embrace the ones who have a lot of time. And they ignore the people who are new. I actually go out of my way to make sure that the people who are new are greeted, and I talk to them and I ask them about themselves, because they are the most important person in any meeting. They need the contact more than anyone else. So yeah, because it's easy to say that they're the most important person in every meeting, but it's another thing to actually behave as if that's true, So sorry for hijacking the conversation, Libby.
Oh, no, this is totally relevant. This is what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the people who've been excluded from the human race. And how do we reach out and make it possible for them to come back in? Because somehow you were able to find a meeting where you were received with love. A lot of people that come to share have tried meetings and have been rejected because of different reasons. Maybe it's their behaviors, maybe it's their body odor, maybe it's, who knows what it is, but if someone has fallen through the cracks in that way, what we're trying to do is welcome them back into the human race. And we do that in simple ways, by looking at someone, by remembering their name, by accepting them just as they are, and not trying to say, well, you can't come in because you didn't take a shower for a while, or whatever it is. Not that, like, sometimes, I could see occasions where sometimes body odor has to be addressed, but it's the main thing, the most important thing is people's dignity and their humanity. And if we can begin to see that, we can become the bridge that people can walk over back into society. We want to try to be part of that. The miracle that happened for Billy, we want to make it possible for a lot more people. And that's really what these tools are about. This is our noble cause. We want to try to find all the other Billies out there that can't find a place where they belong, and give them a place where they can belong. That's kind of what we do.
Thank you, Libby. That was actually beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Billy. That was
Yeah, thank you for your honesty, all of you. I think it's been we sometimes need this kind of touchstone. We need, in the work that we do, we pour ourselves out, we put ourselves into it. We are thinking about others, we're giving all the time. And we also need to take time to replenish and to refill. And sometimes it might be having this type of conversation that we're having right now. It reminds us why we're doing this. There's going to be people that we can't save. There's going to be people who slip through our fingers too, even though we try to catch them. But if we can hang on to these kinds of stories, it makes it easier to have a deep commitment to the work.